So here's the result of that extra work. I have my pairs over here. You'll see, as per this one, I've marked this one with a dot on each, and the other one I've got 2 dots on each and 3 dots on each to make sure the pairs stay together, although in theory it shouldn't matter, they should all be the same. I have bent this round. It's really hard to focus, but the end of the blade is now flat because I have filed one side, bent it, and then filed the other side. And now I've aligned these. So one of the key things to ensure when you're doing this stuff is that the V is correct. So if this is pushed too far forward, you'll have a lip, and if it's too far back, you'll have a notch. So you want to do your very best to try and make that a very smooth line. There's a set of tables in this book which show you how much this the tip of this should be offset from the front of here. I think it's about 4 mil in a 1 1/8. So I'll measure that up in a second, but essentially that's it. And now we do the first bit of soldering. So you may be familiar with a reel of electrical solder, which I can't seem to see, but what I have started to use is this stuff. Well, what I've been using for a while, I should say, which is just leaded, no rosin solder, and I can just slice off little sections, little sausages, little salami slices, and then just drop that onto there, or drop it onto the tip of the iron. But what's also important is to use flux. If you've been using electrical solder, it has flux into it, which is maybe why you might have noticed if you've been soldering without flux, or without, if you've got a part over here and you tin one part on this side and you bring it over and try and solder it, you just absolutely can't, because it will never attach to this side because there's no flux on here. There's only flux on the side you've tinned. To just circumvent that, and because of the way that we use solder in model railways, liquid solder, I've got some power flux, that red jar over there is much more corrosive but does the same kind of thing, and you use that. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be soldering up the 2 V's for the common crossings, and if you remember, there's actually a couple extra here, and this couple extra are for the point V's, so the point rails. So if I come over to here to my handy side thing, so I'm building this V here and this V here. Those are the 2 main ones, but in addition there are some rails here, this long rail here that ends up in this wing rail. That needs to be shaved down as well to the same angle to allow a piece of a wheel, sorry, to roll through. So I've done this rail and this rail. There's more to do, but that's what I've done for now. So yes, hopefully when you come back, this will be soldered up and we can get on to the second of the jigs we'll be using to assemble this.